Hello everyone! Welcome to another episode of What the Adults. Audrey's going to be asking us some questions. I don't know what they are.
200 questions to get to know someone. I think I have the perfect first one.
Alright, I don't want to be horrible, and I just want to check the audio again. Audrey, can you count to 3?
1, 2, 3. Did my mic already die?
It's really low. See? Good thing I checked.
Oh, I'm muted. Hello?
Oh.
There you go. See?
Good
thing I checked. The show is not, I feel like all of our starts are very clunky.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Audrey's mic is on. All right, so first question. How different was your life 1 year ago? And let's remember, the past year has been a pandemic. So 1 year ago, we were just kind of starting our work from home journey at Medfield TV, right? What was going on? Porch Fest was coming up. Porch Fest again is coming up. Me and Brett drove around last Porch Fest. Masks weren't required. I don't think we were wearing masks.
I don't think so.
No, but we drove around.
But you were in the back seat. We were safe.
Yes, I was in the back seat. The windows were open. I was filming from the car. Mm-hmm. So some of those shots were questionable.
Still really good though. How about you, Amanda? What was your year like last year?
Well, I was still relatively new to Medfield TV, and I really didn't have a lot of time in here before I had a quarantine, so it was just, working from home. And from now, I definitely gained a lot more new skills, especially with just this whole year of experience. So I guess that would be like the biggest thing, is just like getting that experience from coming back into the studio and working.
I guess mine would be that I should be married right now.
Yeah.
So like that was like a big thing. I remember the discussion that we had was literally, there's no way they'll be canceling stuff in July. Like that was our discussion, and that was a big part of it. So I would say that's a pretty enormous part of my life that didn't happen.
That's a bummer.
But it's happening sometime soon.
Yeah, August 7th.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, Brett conveniently didn't invite me or Amanda. It's fine.
I did not.
Purposely.
The thing is like
For good
also
reason.
we made the invite list like 2 years ago now, and so what's really weird is this is like, it's a weird time capsule of like, who were your friends 2 years ago? And now all of a sudden that list is like a little bit different. There's like different people that like, I reconnected with so many other people too, where I'm like, oh man, like this is my friend from like high school or whatever. And then all of a sudden now it's like, I'm closer to that person now than I was 2 years ago. And I'm like, if I was to remake this list, I think that you'd be on it, but now you're not, because I already have that person invited and I can't be switch swapped.
We've also made new friends, like Mike Page.
And that's something too, like he's like told me, he's like, oh, I want to invite you to my wedding. And I was like, oh, awkward moment. Like,
I already made my list.
Yeah.
You're not invited to mine.
Yeah.
You know me 2 years
So
ago.
sad.
You really missed out.
Yeah, the wedding list is definitely my least favorite thing I've ever had to do. Yeah. I could go on, we could have a whole separate What the Adults on just what a wedding is and like the things that happen during it.
Yeah, we should have an episode on dream weddings.
Just throw them out.
About, like,
if you have a dream wedding, just throw it out.
Dream weddings, none.
Here's why the dream wedding is it just, you can't do it, is because your family members who like are opinionated and have thoughts and ideas, they have an idea in their head of what you have to do for them at your wedding. Yeah. Or like who should be invited and stuff. Like the list of people that's going to our wedding, I have a say and Caitlin has a say in a quarter of them. Everyone else is like, you have to invite this person. Yeah. And so a lot of it's just like, your wedding is not your event.
Yeah, it's like for your guests rather than for you.
Yeah.
It's formalities.
It's really frustrating.
Keeping the family together.
Yeah. Or not, right?
Or not. All right, next question. What job do you think you'd be really good at? Next job after Medfield TV. What are you doing? I'll answer
Why
first.
you
Yeah.
start?
I think I have an idea. I recently have ventured into like social media management through Medfield TV. I've started all of Mike Page Doodle Club's social media accounts, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I've really been enjoying that. And I think my next job might be in like social media, doing something like that for a company.
Oh,
Nice.
interesting.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, it's I think my next job totally different. If I looked at my next job, like what I wanted to do, I would run I've always wanted to do this, run like a gym, like a combat sports gym. So
That's interesting.
yeah.
That is.
So like totally different field, totally different thing, but obviously like the fact of running a company and like doing all that is something I love. But people know like one of my big passions is wrestling. I've started boxing as well, like here in Medfield. That's something I haven't been able to do in a while. But yeah, that's a big part of like what I like, and so it's big hobby of mine. I would love to make that my job. There's a huge need for it too.
Cool.
So yeah. How about you?
I guess I never considered like illustration, like that could be a path I could, but I had a lot of opportunity just from here and like projects from here where I'm actually illustrating more. And it seems more feasible that I could possibly lean into that direction while still staying kind of in this relative, like, same production work field. So I guess, like, I never seen myself leaning more towards that aspect, but I can kind of see it more now.
Yeah.
Have you, like, not considered your abilities with that, like, the illustrating, have you not considered how unique and talented that is until you got here? Like,
yeah, like so I went to high school, I studied graphic communications, but still it was more typography based in like magazine formats, and then also the press production work. So I didn't like ever really implement designs of my own then, and then it was just like I never really considered like it's something that I could add on to like video production especially and stuff like that. So definitely this job opened up that like new way of like, oh, I can actually make this into something else than other than just like a hobby.
Yeah, that's something I've loved about working at Medfield TV. You do so many different things and you learn so many different skills, and you're constantly using all these different things you're learning. So it's like you get to decide if you want to lean more into graphics, you can. If you want to lean more into like video stuff, you can.
yeah.
That's why I really like this field in general, because it like I saw myself seeing in a creative field, and it's just like so broad and open. And whenever anyone asked me, like when I was in college studying communication arts, they would be like, well, what does that even mean? And I'm like, well, it could mean several things, and it depends on what you want to study. So I really do enjoy this field because it's just like you get skills that could easily apply to other aspects, and like you're not like locked in, like you have like this one thing and you'll just keep going. It's just like this whole like bucket of things that you can just do. I love that.
Very cool.
What's one thing you really want but can't afford yet?
A house.
I agree. I really want a house. That's my next big
There's
financial
literally
thing.
nothing else I can think
Yeah.
of other than like just living somewhere that
I
is
want
mine.
to buy a house because
Yeah.
I don't want to rent. I've rented before and it absolutely sucks. I
Oh,
want to
yeah, I
buy
remember
something
that.
and just like pay the mortgage as rent, you know?
Yeah, what's scary is my fiance and I are in that process now of like looking for a house and doing all that stuff. And it is, one, very hard to find a house that works for you, that like is in your budget, that is something that is in an area that you need. And then on top of that, right now the market is insane, where
Yeah.
like you have to walk into the house ready to buy it, which is not how it used to be 5 to 10 years ago. Like you didn't walk into a home and be like, this is it, like at the front door, like I have money in my pocket to buy this.
Yeah.
You can't think anymore, which is one of the reasons why Caitlin and I we were gonna buy a house, and that was one of our things, was we were gonna do that, and we were ready to. But it was the idea that when we walked into a home, having to be ready to buy it was not something we were interested in doing.
Yeah.
And so we're like, let's just rent for one last year and just sit back and just be able to see the landscape and pick a house that we liked. We just didn't see one that we really were like
especially
diehard in.
it's a huge decision. It's not
Massive.
something that you can just be like, oh, never mind, I want to change. I don't want it. Like, no, it's a huge responsibility. Oh,
it's crazy to think of. Just like the amount of debt too is just like.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, but I've been encouraged by my brother. So my brother Jeff and his wife, they bought a house, and the thing that he has told me, so now he bought a house and then he got another house, and now he's been improving on this house. And he was like, the hardest part is getting your first house. Yeah. Once you have a house, you now have equity, and you now have something of value that you can go get another house. Like you can trade houses essentially and trade up. But like what's scary is rent right now is as expensive as owning a mortgage. Yeah. Like it's as expensive, if not more. I actually found out I pay more money in rent right now than I would if I owned a home.
That's insane. Most people do that. Yeah. That's why I don't want to rent ever
I've
again.
been looking at like listings too, and I'm like, am I supposed to have this every month? Like that doesn't crazy. Like it's.
A friend of mine literally had an agent call him and was like, hey, I know the open house is this weekend, but here's a bunch of photos of the house, put in an offer now. And he was like off a text message, like photos of it that you took 10 minutes ago. And he's like, yes, we already have offers at price.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
It's
it
nuts.
Really is.
Yeah, this is an exciting conversation though, huh?
Exciting or
People
stressful?
tune into What the Adults for Adulting Matters.
Hey. We go into like mortgage rates.
Yeah.
Next episode.
How to get a loan. All right, well, let's take a turn. And what's the best thing about you?
How much time do you have?
Dead silence.
I know.
We hate ourselves.
Yes. Loathe me.
I think my answer would be like, I'm always willing to put 120% into anything.
Yeah, I was thinking like ambition. Yeah. Like, I feel like it drives me a lot to like want to do something. And when I get a project, I want to put like my everything into it because I want it to be a representation of myself. Yeah. So I don't want to like put something out there that I'm not like happy with. Mm-hmm. It also can be kind of my weakness though, because then sometimes even if it's fine, I'm like, I'm not happy with this, and I don't think it's a good representation of me.
We're very similar like that.
Yeah,
we
are.
Our what is it?
Capricorn rising.
That's what it is. Have you seen the first episode of What the Adults?
Yeah. Go back and watch it. I would say the best part of me is that I think just genuinely I'm a nice person. I care about others a lot. I care about like the people around me. I want to make sure that they're comfortable first, and then I kind of look to myself. Like I take care of myself, but I feel like it's important for me to try to take care of other people. And you see that a lot in like my interviews is like if I interview someone, I care a lot about how that person feels in the chair. Like, are they comfortable? Are they okay? Like, so that's one of the things that I really, I think is probably the best part about me.
And it's something a lot of people can appreciate, especially like if you're going to be on camera. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that. So to have someone that can help you through it and that doesn't feel like they're just talking at you, but like making it a comfortable situation is very like a good quality.
Are the other questions just terrible, or
I'm just trying to find one that's going to spark a good conversation? You know?
Are these conversations not good enough?
No, these are good. But it's because I'm choosing good questions. What do you hope your last words will be?
Oh
what?
My God.
You said we weren't going to get too deep today.
So my last words, I said, what's it, an epitaph or whatever? What's on your tombstone?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Oh.
So,
I just saw that question in here.
Okay.
I skipped it.
So similar idea. So I tell Caitlin all the time, like, this is the thing that she always says to me, like, this is, no matter what the situation is, no matter what we're talking about, you always say, like, it could be fun. Like, it could be anything. Like, going to get gas, it could be fun. Like, let's go. Like, come on. She's like, you're always diving into things. So what I want is either the last words or my epitaph to read, it was fun.
That's
You've
nice.
done, we made tombstones for
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah. On my tombstone, it says it was fun.
Tombstone.
Yeah. That is literally what I want.
It was super
I'm like,
morbid. He put his own name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only one who did that.
Yeah, I went home that night and I told my mom that he did that, and I was like, I want to do one for myself. She's like, no, do not. What's one responsibility you really wish you didn't have?
Wait, are neither one of you going to tell us your last words?
My last.
My last words
I-
will be, Brett, why are you doing that to me?
No!
Stop strangling me.
That's so awful.
Is this why I'm in the middle?
It's so bad too because my joke was
Oh my goodness.
Gurgle.
Brett has that planned.
I can't say I've thought about this.
Yeah, I haven't
The
thought
only,
about it that
like,
much. Brett thought about it a little too much.
I mean, I guess it was just like to hope to say goodbye.
Yeah, or like I love you. Something like that.
Yeah, basic answer, but I don't have like a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Basic.
Or something like, heck yeah!
Woo!
Like you're skydiving and you're like, heck yeah! Then
Oh,
you plummet to the
yeah.
ground.
Exactly how I want to go.
Yippee-ki-yay!
Ooh, what do you wish your brain was better at doing? Not being anxious.
Oh my god.
Not worrying
Why
about
do you
every
have to
little
take my
thing.
answers? I have like I hate it because I feel conscious like pressure, like a failure and stuff. So like if I could just take that away and just, I feel so much better.
Mine is I feel like my thoughts are unorganized sometimes, which I know is shocking to both of you. But I just feel like I have like, if I want a project done, like, and I'm trying to get that done, I have like 7 other things that come in before I can finish. Like my whole day, I walk in every day with one thing that I want to get done. And sometimes I don't get that one thing done because I stop and I do 100 other things too. Which makes me really
I'll
frustrated.
ask Brett to text one person to schedule something, and I'll have to ask him like 8 times in the same day.
You need that filing like group like in SpongeBob. Do you know that episode of SpongeBob where he has like a bunch
In his
of
brain?
Yeah, I mean it like set on fire, so not that part, but like when he's like a waiter
Yeah.
and he has like a.
I can't be a waiter. I know that for a fact that I could not be. So, speaking of rent, I want to get a second job. Like I just want something on the side.
Yeah.
And all the jobs are like server, waiter, whatever. And I'm like, I would be a horrible waiter.
I feel that a lot. I remember when I was looking at like just jobs to do when I'm in college and stuff, I said numerous times, I'm not serving. I can't do food service because I feel like I would just mess up. Like I don't think I can listen to someone's order and then walk away and be like, I got your order. The ones that can just literally look you in the eye and then they go, not even writing anything, and they're like, okay, I'll put it in, and it's perfect. It's like, how do you do that?
I could never, because like I look like I'm listening to people really intently a lot of the time, but things are just going straight over my head.
Oh my god,
and I genuinely look like I'm paying attention, and I'm just not at all listening because I'm like so in my own head about things.
Same.
Yeah.
Like I
Nothing processes.
I can't like stop.
I'll listen, but it doesn't stick.
Yeah, exactly. Like names.
Good to know.
Someone gives me their name, if I don't write it down.
Yeah.
You know what's a trick I learned? You say their name 3 times in the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
What stats for your life would you most like to see?
Stats.
Yeah. So like it could be anything. Steps walked, true loves passed on the street, percentage of the world seen.
Oh.
Something like that. We were just talking about it, like how I'm very oblivious to things. Like I'm very in my own head, so I'm just oblivious to a lot of things. I would like to see how many like people have flirted with me and I just have not at all recognized it and just have gone by and like said nothing or like not engaged at all, even if I was like attracted to them and I just like didn't recognize that they were flirting with me, because I feel like that's happened so many times.
A friend of mine literally last night, we were talking about this, and she was like, oh my God, she's like, I just found out that this kid has been like hitting on me directly to my face, as obvious as possible, where like other people are like, what are you doing? Like, talk to him, you know? And she's like, he texted me and was like, can I take you out? Like, what are we doing here? Like, but yeah, it's bad. Picking up on stuff, like, I feel like I pick up a lot on people, like on their stuff.
I agree. I feel like I'm the same. I try not to like act like I do though, if that makes sense. Like if someone told me a story, I'm really good at remembering stories and like conversations, and they start saying it again, I just go and listen. I don't want to be like, you already told me and I know the ending, and I have like, I don't want to be like that.
I don't know what a stat would be that I wanted.
I think I would want to see the amount of times I was right about something. Even if it was just like a gut instinct, like if I was just like, I shouldn't do this today because I feel like this is going to happen. And then I would love to see how many things I like felt was going to happen, or like if I was just right about something in a conversation.
I feel like, so when you get to the pearly gates, everyone always says like, oh, what's the meaning of life? I honestly could care less what the meaning of life is. Like, I don't care at all. But I would love to look at them and be like on a ranking of how good people were, like where do I fall? Like, do I fall like above everyone, like above class? Like, I feel like genuinely I'm a good person. I was like, where do I fall on that list?
That's kind of like the show The Good Place.
Just wanting to know that also, of like that there's a ranking of how good you are, and I feel like I'm
Humble.
I feel like, yeah, Brett, your humble like stat is so bad that you're like way down at the bottom, bro.
That's kind of like the show The Good Place. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah.
But they have like, they like put humans into numbers, and it determines what place you go to when you pass. So I think you would like a system like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't work out in the show, but
yeah, I just want like, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is how good of a person you were, and I think I'm like an 8.
Okay.
Oh, that's high.
Okay.
Like, not a 10. I'm not perfect.
All right, well, building off of that, there are 2 types of people in this world. What are the 2 types? And I think the 2 types are humble and not humble. And if you've seen our recent TikToks,
2 out of 3 of us.
We've been comparing me and Brett in the ways we act. The first one we did was how we react after we're done filming, and the second was how we prepare to start filming. And Brett's a little confident in that arena, and I'm not.
I'm confident. Confidence.
But what are your 2 types of people in this world? If you had to choose, it's like one or the other. And you could stereotype people into one or the other.
I mean, there's like kind of like basic, but like there's like people who are more analytical, and there's people that are more like just go with the heart and like let that guide them, while others go with their heads. And honestly, if I don't know which one I fall into, I feel like heart, but I don't know.
I think that you are someone who either doesn't like mint chocolate as a flavor, or you're wrong.
I love mint chocolate.
Oh, does that make me wrong?
Yeah.
So wrong. It's the worst of. Never has 2 things been put together that made the other one way worse than it started out as. Like, chocolate is one of the best things, and then you took mint and you ruined it.
Yeah, I don't like mint ice cream. And okay, so when I was younger and we would go to Friendly's, there was like a mint, like monster chocolate ice cream, and I liked the Reese's that they put on the ears. But that was like the only real pull. And my grandma, for whatever reason, would always, when I went to Friendly's with her, she would always order it for me. I didn't like mint ice cream. I would just eat the Reese's, and then she would get mad that I didn't eat the ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
No matter how many times I told her I don't like mint ice cream.
Oh my God. Well, Nana. Let's use deductive reasoning. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
No.
I don't even like pineapple, period.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of pineapple.
This is
A little too spicy.
Spicy.
No, I think it has like some acidic
Yeah,
thing
it,
that
like,
actually
tingles.
like it eats at your tongue.
Oh, weird.
Like I forget what it's called, but that's a thing.
Ooh, we're in the very personal questions to get to know someone category.
You
Okay.
said it wasn't going to get that deep.
Let's get deep.
I like your nail polish, by the way. I keep looking at it when you're
Thank you.
scrolling.
How do you hope you'll change as a person in the future?
Make more money.
I mean, that's
everyone
not too
thinks
bad. I feel like I want to just feel better with myself in life, I guess. I just want to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the ultimate goal. I just want to feel comfortable with life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to be a little more relaxed
Yeah.
as a human. I feel like I'm always on edge.
Yeah.
So I'd like
Like-
to calm down a little.
Can
We're on
I?
the same wavelength. He's great to have staff who's always on the edge.
It's the best. Ugh. Sometimes I walk out of my office and I'm like, should I be nervous right now?
Manifest this nervous energy.
Maybe you guys should get a turtle. Like,
I don't want a turtle.
sometimes I just look over at him and I'm like, this is a good day. It's like a thought that I have. I don't know if I would say that it worries me, but a thought that I have is that, and obviously on this show, we have highlighted the fact that I am a narcissist
Multiple times.
many times. But
Per episode.
I want,
We'll have a compilation soon.
yeah. 3 episodes deep, and we have a 30-minute compilation of Brett being a narcissist. But I want to be a good dad. My brothers have told me about this. Is like there's a feeling of when you hold your child and you just stop caring about yourself. And I'm like, I hope that I have that feeling. I hope that as I hold my child,
Wow.
it's just like I want all of my being into that kid. So that is something that worries me. It's like, oh my God, what if I don't have that feeling?
Oh, I was gonna say
You
that's
feel
really
like I'm more
sweet.
important.
Yeah, like what if that happens? What if I hold the kid and I'm like, I'm just a narcissist? Like, are you kidding me? That's my
No.
character arc
Maybe
See,
go
I
to a
think you're
therapist.
a good enough person to like make that shift.
to beat that down. Yeah, like I feel like my Game of Thrones character arc needs me to come back hard.
That was kind of deep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go for a less deep one. What's something you are obsessed with? My answer is avocados. That's super trendy right now, but I love avocados. I eat avocado toast every morning. Love a good guac.
Oh, I do have a big sweet tooth. So like sometimes I'm just like I have to have something sweet at the end of the day, and that's kind of a lame answer, but it's true.
My kettlebells, which
Oh.
yeah, I've been, obviously we've highlighted that I'm getting married, so been working out, trying to look buff for the wedding pics. And so I've been throwing around a kettlebell, and I got this brand new one that's awesome. It's really cool looking.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's like a monkey head. It's so cool. So yeah, been obsessed with that.
Cool.
It's like a good obsession, I think.
You know what? I always like fixate on like music and media depending on the mood. So like I also have that issue. I guess that's a non-food one. Like music, like I like particular artists, and I will listen to their new album for a month
On repeat, yeah.
on repeat. Like that'll only like some people can put, oh, you don't put together playlists. I'm like, no, because I need to listen to the artist alone.
Who's your favorite artist?
I don't like that
Music
question.
artist?
That's so hard because there's like so many people that I really do like. Do you have one?
What's your favorite genre? Do you have a genre? that you
Yeah,
like?
yeah. I would say like I like alternative pop and then electronic,
Okay.
like all kind of blended together. So yeah, I don't really listen. Not to be like that person. I don't listen to mainstream music too much. Like there's some artists that did hit mainstream that I did like before it was popular. But like I don't listen to too many mainstream stuff. I don't really listen to the radio. So like yeah, I'm that type of person.
Yeah. I guess I listen to like indie pop, like chilled, kind of chill pop. Been loving Taylor's new recordings. I mean, that's not indie at all.
Right.
Yeah, everyone's
Fearless.
talking
It's
about
just
it
like
though.
nostalgic.
Yeah.
So I love listening to that. But that's what I'm fixated on right now.
Yeah.
Brett's a big Taylor fan too.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm a Swiftie. Faux show. Yeah, no, I've been listening to a lot of Taylor. I listen to folklore, like, just in my office. Like I'll just listen to folklore. But I also like alternative rock. My favorite workout music has been Rage Against the Machine, and I have a Pandora playlist on that, and it's awesome.
Pandora?
Yeah, I listen to Pandora.
Why?
So here's why I listen to Pandora. So what I like about Pandora is I don't pick the playlist, I just like the songs, and so it ends up curating a playlist based off of what I've liked. And I like the fact that I can pick like a song. So one of them is like, one of my songs is AC/DC's Thunderstruck, which if you've never heard that song, come on. But they get you amped up. So like I'll play that song, and then it just picks a bunch of songs after that,
So
like
does
that are
Spotify.
related.
Spotify does that as well.
Well, I do
Sweet.
Pandora,
Yeah.
so what are you
What's your
gonna do?
favorite platform for music?
Spotify.
Spotify's the way.
My friend
See?
will send me like, oh, you should listen to the song, and he'll send it like on Apple Music, and I'll be like, please don't.
Yeah.
Spotify link, please.
Yeah, fun fact, you can get, if you do Hulu,
Yeah,
you get free Spotify.
yeah, that's what we
Or
did.
it's reversed. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, it
But
was.
they come together for
it-
like $10
yeah.
a month.
Yeah.
What do you think of tattoos? Do you have any? I don't have any tattoos, and I don't think I'd ever get one because I'm super indecisive. And I would probably hate it a week later.
I like tattoos. I don't have any tattoos, and it's because of being indecisive. I don't want to regret it, and I also want to feel 100% like okay with whatever is going to go on my body. So I don't know if I'll ever get one, but I would never, if I ever like had an epiphany and I got a good tattoo, and I that's something I would pay good money for. I wouldn't like try to get it like a cheap tattoo. I would want a very nice one that I would like.
I have a tattoo. It's a big one. It covers my whole thigh.
I remember you getting that.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
pretty excited about it. So I was in high school, and there was like a pencil drawing of wrestling shoes, and we were all obsessed with it. Like it was just like a cool, like old school pencil drawing of these beat up wrestling shoes, and it always resembled us, like the work that goes into wrestling. Like you beat the crap out of your shoes. Like that, the more beat up your shoes were,
Yeah.
like the cooler those shoes are. And so I always wanted, if I was ever to get a tattoo, that was always what I wanted, which to your point, you can't get that tattoo as like a bad tattoo. Like you can't get a cheap one of that. Like it has to be a high-end tattoo. So I did a ton of research, found an artist that I really liked, and I went and got that artist to do it. It cost me a pretty penny, but I love this tattoo. Like I love it. It's
Good, yeah.
yeah, and it is cool. Like one, I can hide it. Like no one will ever know. And then like every now and then, I'll just be sitting on the couch, and I'll just be like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I got a
This
sweet
is on my
tattoo.
body."
That's right. Like what's up?" But yeah, I think tattoos have changed though too. Because
Yeah.
when I was growing up, tattoos were like for. Do I say tattoo weird by the way?
Tattoos.
Do I say it weird?
I say
I
a
feel
lot
like every
of
time it
things
comes out of my
weird,
mouth,
so-
it sounds like I'm
I
saying.
feel like
it.
you're emphasizing the twos part of it
Tattoos.
rather than
Oh,
tattoos.
Tattoos.
Yeah, I guess now I'm
Anyway, so I feel like tattoos. I feel like they've changed their meaning. Like when I was younger, it was like tough guy, like criminals would get tattoos, and now it's like
You don't want a teardrop?
no, I don't. But now we literally went from like Mike Tyson getting a face tattoo to like yoga moms have tattoos now, and it's just like
yeah.
so don't get like a basic tattoo though, right? Like I feel like if
Yeah,
you're gonna get a
yeah.
tattoo, get one that literally is meaningful to you. But at the same time, like be whoever you want to be.
Exactly.
If you want an infinity symbol on your wrist, go for it.
Also, I think like the style of tattoos, like to kind of work out, like just changed because before, like in the '90s, they kind of all looked relatively the same. But I feel like there's different art directions that you can go minimalistic, geometric, or more traditional. So I feel like that could also be why more people get it because like I feel like there wasn't a lot of big variety.
I also feel like it's like really truly an art form.
Yeah.
People really study that to like and spend years practicing before they
I
really
know.
start doing.
I think there's a
tattoos.
lot of good things about tattoos.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it's not like as stigmatized as it used to be. And I'm glad a lot of workplaces are like opening up to like people just like having their tattoo. Like if they have it on their arm, it's on their arm, you know. We should get tattoos together, Audrey. Let's plan it. after this.
If you were to get a tattoo, what would it be of?
I might do something astrology themed, but
You
like
don't
I
say.
don't, but like I wouldn't want to go like hardcore, like this is my
Just something
literally,
simple, yeah.
but like I would want to try to see if I could like work off of that. Other than that, I kind of like the idea of like having bears, because my favorite animal growing up was a panda, and my sister, I'm a twin. I have a twin sister. Her favorite animal was a polar bear, and my dad always like just loves black bears. And in fact, like we always go to New Hampshire, like except for last year, for the pandemic reasons. But like when we go there, there's obviously a lot of black bears around. So I just feel like that's an animal that I feel like I like has like a kind of like a connection. I don't know what it would look like, but yeah, that's something that I'm like, oh, I can see kind of getting something of a bear on my body.
Cool.
I don't know. Or a ghost. I love the paranormal, so I was maybe a little tiny
That'd be
ghost.
cute. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I would get. I don't think I'm passionate enough about literally anything to put it on my body, or like I don't have anything that's recurring enough in my life that
Get
like
the
means so much to me.
MTV logo on your body.
No?
No, we might be changing that soon.
Oh, we are. Really?
That's true. Maybe potential. But so when I got my tattoo, it took me forever to get to the point where like I wanted to, like literally like junior in high school to last year I got it. And what was interesting is as soon as you get a tattoo, everyone is like, oh, you just want the next one.
Yeah.
And so there is like 2 weeks where you're literally like, what's my next tattoo gonna be? Like you pull the trigger and you're just like, yes, like tattoos.
There was definitely I can think of a group of people who once they turned 18, or if they were 16 with parental permission too.
Yeah.
It was just like next one, because they were the ones that like were allowed to get tattoos. So
Yeah.
you get talked about in school if you're already at it.
Coaching like high school kids, you see some really bad tattoos.
Oh yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, like that looks cool right now as a 16-year-old that you saved up some money and you paid for it, but in 10 years you are gonna be real upset with the quality of that one. Like that's the thing is if I could give any advice to a high school kid right now, don't not get a tattoo because it's a bad idea. Don't get a tattoo because you can afford it. Like wait until you can afford the right tattoo. The one that you really badly want today, you can afford to make a really good version of it in 10 years. Like when you're 28, you have a good job, you have some money saved up, then you can pay for what you want as like a really nice version of it. But as an 18-year-old, you got $300 in your pocket and you're gonna buy like this crappy tattoo that you're gonna regret.
Yeah, very good point.
Yeah, because I saw literally like a high school kid. I can't even say it. 'Cause, like, if they ever saw it and
Don't
they were,
call them out.
yeah,
Let
if
them
they,
live their life.
yeah, if they saw this and then they heard what I think about it, they would cry. You see some bad ones because it's like that's all the kid could afford, and it's like, man, I wish you went to someone better.
Who's the funniest person you've met? I was about to say myself also. I won't lie. I frequently make myself cry laugh just out of stuff I've said.
Yeah.
So I think I'm the funniest person I've ever met.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I actually, I feel the same way. And here's the thing. I feel that way, again, we're adding it to the list of Brett's a narcissist. I think I'm the funniest person because, like, it's my sense of humor. Like, it's, I cater my humor to me. That's why I think I'm the funniest.
Yeah. I think people would be surprised to find out that I think I'm the funniest person I've ever met, but because normally I'm
because you're not that funny.
Somewhat humble. Because I'm not that funny. I'm hysterical. Stop.
Oh my goodness. My sister, because her sense of humor is similar to mine, but she makes me laugh a lot. So and sometimes like she just says a lot of really funny things. She's really good at like one-liners and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate her sense of humor a lot, unless if it's at my expense. I don't appreciate that, and I don't want her to think that that's okay to make fun of me.
If you had to choose someone besides yourself, who would you choose?
I feel like everyone else is just fun, like is really funny. Like I have a lot of really funny friends. Like my cousin Tommy is like, he is one of the funniest people I've ever met. He's wicked funny. My fiance is really funny too. Caitlin is really funny. I mean, her and I, we go back and forth and we'll just laugh, you know, all night. My brothers too. My brothers are like different versions of me. And then my mom is like, my mom's stories are the best. She's the best storyteller of all time. And it's not because she tells a good story. It's because the way she tells it is like, it's not even about the story. It's just the way that she is telling the story is so much better than the story itself. Like, she cracks herself up mid-story and can't finish the story. It's also like the 7th time you've heard the story. Like, to your point, like when someone starts telling you a story, it's my mom, 100%. She'll tell you the story, then you'll come in the room, she'll tell you the story while you have to sit there and listen to the story again, and then another person will come in and she will tell the same story for a 3rd time for a new audience. Like, it's just, so she's also wicked funny. I don't know if I have another person I would slot in, but just different times I would have different people. How about you?
I have good banter with my best friend Lauren. We go back and forth a lot. All right, last question. What are you doing this weekend? What are the plans? What's on the list?
Nothing. But it's not this weekend. I just got a vaccination appointment.
Wow.
It's going to be on Tuesday.
That's exciting.
So that's a plan that's coming, but as for the weekend, I have nothing.
That's fun though.
I'm moving into my apartment. #adulting. I'm actually really excited about it. It's an awesome apartment. Super excited about where we're going and what we're doing. And it's like the two of us are finally, we're like we're closing chapters. And so it's nice to kind of move on. Like the pandemic really shook up like Caitlin and I's like flow. Like, you know, the natural flow is 2 people meet, they fall in love, they get married, like all of that stuff. And the pandemic was like, no, you do not. So like, this is like one of the things that like we get to kind of like close a chapter and just be like, yeah, like, okay, now we're finally getting to move in together, you know? And so that's like a big thing for me. I'm really excited about it.
That is. Congrats on
thanks.
that.
That's very fun.
You must have good plans.
I'm introducing my boyfriend to my parents.
Wait, you just introduced the fact that you have a boyfriend.
Oh,
You have a boyfriend? You have a boyfriend. Audrey tells us nothing, by the way. But you'll tell the world.
Hi, I have a boyfriend.